In this video, I'm going to investigate what the connection is between Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC, Japanese Christmas, and the chicken evolution here in Japan. Lots to look into, so let's get started. Hi, I'm Mike Matsuno, the man in Japan. On this channel, we talk about life and living in Japan. If you like the content, please hit that like button and subscribe. Today was one of those days that even after living in Japan for 25 years, I was so surprised to hear about what the Japanese are eating on Christmas. I had never really spent many Christmases in Japan as I went home to Hawaii to help take care of my parents every Christmas. But last year, due to COVID, I couldn't leave Japan and had to remain here, and so I just happened to be passing a KFC on Christmas and ended up making an on-the-spot video about Kentucky Fried Chicken and Japanese Christmas. This year again, due to COVID, I'm spending Christmas alone here in Japan. Yesterday was Christmas Eve in Japan. I was at the Dosha Women's Preparation Room for part-time teachers, and I was just having a casual conversation with the staff person, Onishi-san. It was a very innocent conversation about Costco, which is located about 15 minutes from Doshi's shop. I was telling her that I was thinking of going to Costco after class and picking up some supplies and a Costco chicken for dinner. She looked really surprised on her face, and she said, "Oh no, if you go today, you won't be able to buy Costco chicken without waiting for a long time." I was caught off guard as I did not know what she was referring to. Chicken? Costco? Just last week, I had bought 2 chickens at Costco and did not have to wait at all. In fact, I saw a lot of Costco chickens in the heater bin last week. She then explained that if I went to Costco any day close to Christmas, that I would have to get a pickup ticket and that the waiting times were very long, and so I would have to probably leave Costco and come back and return to pick up the chicken. I was really surprised. I said, "What is this chicken thing?" Then suddenly a light bulb flashed in my mind. It's Christmas Eve today, and the well-known tradition of eating KFC on Christmas suddenly came to my mind. I asked Onishi-san if there was any connection between the Costco chicken and the KFC tradition. She said she wasn't sure. I asked her, why are the Japanese suddenly buying Costco chicken? She said that the Costco chicken was the only place the Japanese could actually see and buy an entire chicken that was cooked intact. And I thought about it. Yes, most chicken in Japan is usually sold boneless and in smaller pieces like karaage, fried chicken. And you rarely see chicken served with bones except at KFC. Now I was getting even more curious. My logic was, if KFC was the traditional chicken dinner for over 36 million Japanese, what was the connection to Costco chicken? Was it just because it was chicken? And KFC only sells pieces of chicken, not the entire whole chicken. And why was this image of the whole chicken so captivating for Japanese? Then I went to teach my freshman class after that, and I started off with a warm-up question about this topic. I first asked them, who eats KFC for Christmas? Only one student raised her hand. I was surprised as I thought the majority of families eat KFC on Christmas. But then another student suddenly said, she eats chicken, but not KFC. So then I rephrased the question to, who eats chicken for Christmas? Their hands all went up. I was now wondering, how did the Japanese tradition evolve from KFC to chicken? Then another student added that the chicken that they ate on Christmas were large pieces of chicken. Not like just a drumstick, but the entire leg of the chicken or the entire breast of the chicken. Other students agreed that they ate larger pieces of chicken that were on the bone. I was then even more curious, and so after teaching, I went to the supermarket on Christmas, and there, lo and behold, in the prepared food section that usually has a variety of different fried foods and bento, there were stacks and packs of cooked chicken. Chicken in every cooked way. Teriyaki chicken, Thai chicken, different seasonings, shoyu chicken, and they were not in the typical karaage style. These all included the bone, like the entire leg of a chicken or the entire breast. So it was not only KFC, but chicken in general. So I returned home and I started researching, looking on the internet at different blogs and different videos about the connection between KFC, chicken, and Christmas. I read blogs and watched so many YouTube videos, and on one of them from abroad in Japan, the link is below in the description, Chris talks about KFC back in 2013 offering a premium meal of a full chicken for 5,600 yen. So along with the pieces of chicken on the bones, KFC, as far back as 2013, started offering the full chicken, but at a very expensive price of over $50 for a small chicken. Then I put 2 and 2 together, and now back in 2013, when KFC was selling their chicken for $50 for one small chicken, Costco was present in Japan but still only had a few stores. So there was not much access to Costco chicken at that time, and KFC was still selling out on the full chicken meals at $50. The images of an American Christmas that many Japanese have are the images from TV and magazines from Christmas and Thanksgiving dinners in America. Dinners displaying the big full turkey on the table before being carved. In Japan, you almost never see a turkey. Turkeys aren't sold. Turkey can be specially ordered at the department store, but for most part it's very expensive, and most people do not order or have not even seen what a turkey looks like. It's very rare. It would be basically impossible to fit an average sized turkey into a typical Japanese oven. Also, think about it. If you had never been invited to American turkey dinner with a full turkey intact, you would have no idea of the size and scale of a turkey and the space needed. Also, if the average Japanese person were to see just a photo of a fully cooked intact turkey and a fully cooked intact chicken, they wouldn't know the difference. Because they had no experience or no context, they would not have anything to compare it with. They would not see that the chicken is much smaller than a turkey because they had never seen or eaten turkey. And they rarely see a whole chicken also. So I believe that the average Japanese thinks that the whole cooked chicken is similar or the same as the turkey that's served in the US for Christmas. I think it makes perfect sense that most Japanese do not know the difference between chicken and turkey, nor do they know the size difference. So it's basically the same thing to them because they haven't seen it in person, which makes sense because both are fowl, both look similar in full cooked form, and both taste similar. So that is my final layman conclusion. Many Japanese, over 35 million, eat KFC on Christmas Eve or Christmas. And in addition, many more thousands are eating Costco chicken during Christmas. Costco must be selling out every day when it gets close to Christmas. So why would you spend 5,600 yen when you can buy a 700 yen Costco chicken and just buy the side garnishes and maybe the cake? You save a lot of money. And in addition to KFC and Costco, people eat chicken in different forms and styles of cooking for Christmas. Supermarkets are selling chicken, roast chicken, fried chicken, Thai style, teriyaki chicken, and usually these pieces of chicken are with the meat on the bones and they're quite large, and you eat the chicken like you would eat KFC chicken with your hands. So in Japan, chicken is now the official annual Christmas dinner. So that's what I concluded transpired over the decades since 1974. Wow, what an amazing evolution for chicken in Japan, right? What a brilliant marketing strategy of KFC for one man named Mr. Okawara, who was the first KFC store manager who in 1974 started the Kentucky Niwa Christmas, or Kentucky is or for Christmas campaign. It basically created a KFC day once a year. It was an amazing idea and the timing was perfect for such a promotion. But if you look back in Japanese modern popular culture, the Japanese admiration and enamor with American life goes back to the 1950s. The Blondie and Dagwood Bumstead movie and TV shows, cartoons, all had a resounding effect on Japanese as Japanese worked to revive and resurrect their country after World War II. So by the 1970s, when Japan was at the tail end of the Japanese economic miracle, the infatuation and admiration of an American style of life were embedded in the Japanese psyche. So the timing of KFC to use the images of Christmas in America as the model for the KFC launch in 1974 in Japan was ideally timed, and the rest is history. Another side note of why the KFC was so successful was that Colonel Sanders, the legacy and icon on the side of the KFC bucket, looks similar to Santa Claus with glasses on to many Japanese. And all the Japanese KFC restaurants that have a Colonel Sanders mascot or a mannequin, they dress him up as Santa Claus every year. So I believe there were two things going on. One was KFC that started the Kentucky is Christmas campaign, and so people associated KFC and their chicken with Christmas. In addition to this, the Japanese saw many images of Christmas, Thanksgiving, and the holiday dinner tables in the United States on movies, TV shows, and magazine photos. And when they saw the big turkey, they thought this was the food for Christmas. And since they don't sell turkeys in Japan, no one knew what a turkey actually looks like or the size or the taste. In fact, a chicken kind of looks like a small turkey, right? So Japanese just assumed that the chicken was like or was the turkey that Americans eat on Christmas. The only place you can get the completely cooked whole chicken in Japan is at Costco. So that's my story and I'm sticking to it. So those of you who live outside of Japan and have a fabulous feast for Christmas dinner, from next Christmas, save yourself a lot of time and money. Just buy your family a bucket of KFC chicken or a Costco chicken and you're done. Do Christmas Japanese style. Simple and sweet. And don't forget the Christmas cake on Christmas Eve, as almost everyone in Japan eats Christmas cake on Christmas Eve. If you don't know what I'm talking about, That'll be next year's video. Arigato and Merry Christmas.